warm welcome. You are watching Janata Television and this is the English Bulletin with me, Anustha Acharya. The top stories first. Impeachment motion registered against CJ Rana, Senior Most Justice Karki appointed as Acting Chief Justice. NBA welcomes impeachment motion against Chief Justice, urges political parties to pass the motion with majority votes. UML terms impeachment motion as a conspiracy. The main opposition party votes to challenge the move. Ukraine seeks meeting with Russia within 48 hours. More than a dozen nations urges the citizen to leave Ukraine. And Fabinho goal gives Jurgen Klopp side victory. Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane returns to the team. And now the news in detail. An impeachment motion has been registered at Federal Parliament Secretariat against Chief Justice Solendra Samser Rana, a report. Lawmakers of the ruling parties registered the impeachment motion at the Parliament Secretariat at 10 a.m. yesterday in coordinates with Article 101 of the Constitution. The MPs have accused CJ Rana for being incompetent. Spokesperson of Parliament Secretariat Dr. Rosnath Pandey informed that Nepali Congress lawmaker Dr. Puspa Bhusal, CPN Maoist Center lawmaker Dev Prasad Gurung and CPN Unified Socialist lawmaker Jivan Ram Shrestha initiated the motion, which is backed by 95 lawmakers including Nepali Congress lawmaker Dr. Minendra Rizal. As per the constitutional provision, after the commencement of impeachment proceedings, the Chief Justice shall not be allowed to discharge the duties of his office. This is kind of suspensions from the office until the case is settled. Article 101(2) states 1/4 of the total members of House of Representatives have moved a motion of impeachment against the Chief Justice or a judge of the Supreme Court, member of the Judicial Council, chief or official of the constitutional body on the ground of his or her failure to fulfill his or her duties. Other conditions in which the motion can be filed include incompetence, misconduct, or failure to discharge the duties of office honestly or serious violation of the Code of Conduct. If the motion is passed by at least two-thirds majority of MPs, the Chief Justice shall be relieved of his duties. The Constitution, however, guarantees a person charged with impeachment with a reasonable opportunity to defend himself or herself. Supreme Court Senior Most Justice Deepak Kumar Karki has been appointed as the Acting Chief Justice with the registration of the impeachment motion against Chief Justice Rana. Acting Chief Justice Deepak Kumar Karki has called a full court meeting for today. The Supreme Court informed that the full court meeting will be held today afternoon. Acting Chief Justice Karki called the meeting to discuss the latest situation following the registration of impeachment motion against Chief Justice Solendra Samser Rana. The justices of the Supreme Court were divided into two groups due to the accusation launched by Nepal Bar Association. All the justices have agreed to attend the full court meeting. The Nepal Bar Association has welcomed the registration of an impeachment motion by political parties against Chief Justice Solendra Samser Rana. The Bar Association has termed the motion as a positive step. Issuing a press statement yesterday, General Secretary of NBA Lilamani Paudel said the political parties and members of parliament should make additional efforts to conclude the impeachment motion as per the Constitution. The NBA has also appealed to the entire political parties and the MPs for their positive intervention to pass the impeachment motion. The NBA has been staging protest for 107 days, putting forth different demands including resignation of the Chief Justice. Speaker Agni Prasad Sapkota has called for an all-party meeting for today afternoon. The party has been called to discuss the latest political development in the country. The meeting will take place at the Parliament Secretariat at 2 p.m. today afternoon. Meanwhile, the meeting of the House of Representatives called for today has been rescheduled for February 16. The Parliament Secretariat said that the meeting has been postponed due to special circumstances. This is Janata Bulletin. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back. After the break, we continue with other national news. The main opposition party, CP and UML, has stormed the impeachment motion against the Chief Justice as a conspiracy. A meeting of the party's secretariat held at the residence of Chairman KP Sharma Oli yesterday evening concluded that the impeachment motion against Chief Justice Cholendra Shamsher Rana was an attack on the court and democracy. UML General Secretary Shankar Pokhrel said the party has decided to challenge the move by taking it seriously. Pokhrel also stated that the recent step was a conspiracy to destabilize the relations between the ruling and opposition parties. The meeting also decided to hold a parliamentary party meeting of the CP and UML later today, which would take important decisions, General Secretary Pokhrel said. And now the news from economic front. The Central Investigation Bureau of Nepal Police has warned the public not to get involved in illegal online business such as cryptocurrency, hyperphone and digital networking among others. Issuing a notice on Sunday, the CBI stated that it is minutely monitoring such business which is banned in the country. The CBI said that investigation has been conducted against those involved in such illegal business and actions are also being taken. Urging one and all not to get involved in the transaction of such business, the CBI said that online transactions under cryptocurrency and digital networking business have been declared illegal recently. CBI has also requested the public to inform the police if they find anyone involved in running such illegal business. Time for a short break here at Janata Bulletin. Stay tuned for international news. Welcome back. Now the international news. Ukraine has called for a meeting with Russia and other members of the key European security group over the escalating tensions on its border. Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba said Russia had ignored formal requests to explain the build-up of troops. He said the next step was requesting a meeting within the next 48 hours for transparency about Russia's plans. Russia has denied any plans to invade Ukraine despite the build-up of some 100,000 soldiers on Ukraine's border. But some Western nations have warned that Russia is preparing for military action, with the US saying it could begin with aerial bombardments at any time. More than a dozen nations have urged their citizens to leave Ukraine, and some have pulled embassy staff from the capital. CBS News report said that the US is planning to withdraw all its personnel from Kiev within the next 48 hours, citing three sources. Mr. Kuleba said Ukraine had on Friday demanded answers from Russia about their intentions under the rules of the Vienna document, an agreement about security issues adopted by members of the Organization for Security and Cooperation for Europe, which includes Russia. You are watching Janata Bulletin, and now the latest from the world of sports. Liverpool made its 6 wins in a row in all competitions with a narrow 1-0 win at Burnley thanks to Fabinho's goal late in the first half. With Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane back in the starting lineup after the Africa Cup of Nations exertions, it was the Brazilian midfielder who was the defense forcing from close range. Burnley had their chances in a surprisingly even game but spurned all of them with Wout Weghorst and James Rodriguez, particularly culpable after running through on goal. Jurgen Klopp's team were not fluent. The closest Salah came was when denied a penalty for what looked a trip by, but the win moves them back within 9 points of Manchester City. Neuro Team and Himalayan Sherpa Club have played a goalless draw in the first match of the day at the Matis Memorial A Division League to go back home with a point each. In what was a pretty lackluster performance from both sides, chances were hardly being created by the teams. HSC decided to switch personnel around from the start with the captain Biswas Shrestha playing up front, but it did not work for them. NRT's partnership of Stephen Binong and Mesuke Alamau looked out of sorts today. NRT goalkeeper Ajit Prajapati had a few saves to make, but other than that, the match was pretty eventless. Asis Kurung of HSC was named the player of the match. With a point each, NRT and HSC both stay 7th and 8th respectively. NRT have 14 points on board while HSC have 12 points from 10 matches. We are at the end of Janata Bulletin and the headlines once again. Impeachment motion registered against CJ Rana, Senior Most Justice Karki appointed as Acting Chief Justice. NDA welcomes impeachment motion against Chief Justice, urges political parties to pass the motion with majority votes. Rihanna Tom's impeachment motion as a conspiracy, the main opposition party posed to challenge the move. Ukraine 6 meeting with Russia within 48 hours, more than a dozen nations urges the citizen to leave Ukraine. And Fabinho goal gives Virgin Club side victory. Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane returns to the team. And that's all from the English News Desk for today. You can follow Janata Television and our programs on various social media platforms, including on our website JanataSamaja.com. We urge all our viewers to follow government directives of the lockdown and follow healthy hygienic practices to keep safe from any infections. Keep watching Janata Television. Namaste.